a sense of realism in the films of Satyajit Ray, as there is in with Vittorio De Sica and Jean Renoir, who was another influence on.
He did a movie called The River here in
Yes,
India.
yes, The River. And also with certain American filmmakers who like to shoot on location as well. So, but Ray was a marvelous artist. I think he was one of the great artists working in any medium in the late 20th century.
Yes, and in your recent lecture on array of films,
Yes.
on Satyajit Ray annual lecture which you have given, you had earmarked two different sides, one as Ray the filmmaker and the artist, and you...
No, that's not it.
It's the same?
It's the same.
It's the same.
You know, at the Museum of Modern Art where I work, we considered film as an art.
Art. Yeah.
Period. The end. Some of it is popular art, like Bollywood or Hollywood.
Yes.
Some of it is more fresh and more art films.
Yeah.
But it's still Fassbinder, absolutely. Absolutely. But Fassbinder wanted to be a popular artist.
Yeah.
He didn't want it. He did not make his films for a small group of people. He made his films, even though they didn't appeal to a great group of people, for a large audience. Films like The Marriage of Maria Brown.
Yeah.
But yes, the film is an art. Film was an art peculiar to the 20th century, and I think films made by Satyajit Ray or Kurosawa or Mizoguchi or Fellini is as art, but I also think films made by the Marx Brothers or or Quentin Tarantino is also
art.
Or Howard Hawks.
Or Howard Hawks, yes. Howard Hawks, absolutely. One of the great westerns is Rio Bravo. And then one of the great musicals is Gentlemen Prefer Blonde.
So, one more thing which I wanted to ask you, your book, The Real Plastic Magic, which came out in 1972, and it talked about the American filmmaking history.
Yes,
right?
As I knew it then.
Yes, and when you wrote it, what were the inspirational films or the directors that actually,
Well, D.W. Griffith, absolutely.
Birth of Nation. Yeah.
Yes, which is an appalling.
Yeah.
On one level, it's a terrible, terrible movie.
Yes.
On another level, it's really a film that helped make films acceptable to the upper classes of America.
Yes.
It was the first film that was used like a Broadway theater to show it, and it was enormously popular.
Yes.
But D.W. Griffith, the comedians, Chaplin, Keaton, Harold Lloyd, Keystone Cops, and also particularly the silent films, the German films made by my Republic. With Fritz Lang and
Nosferatu and all that.
Yes.
Nosferatu.
Yes.
So there's, but when I was writing Real Plastic Magic, I also included some of the documentary filmmakers and some of the avant-garde filmmakers.
Jean-Luc Godard films.
Well,
No.
Dr.
Caligari's was a German film.
That's a German film, but no, I didn't write about The Darkness is French. Real Plastic Magic is about American. American.
Yes.
But I met Jean-Luc Godard. I knew him. He made a film for MoMA called The Old Place.
And I think you're particularly curated on Swedish films.
The Lubitsch show was one of the first exhibitions I did in 1968. I did it with my colleagues. It was an easy to curate a monographic show is not difficult because you try to show every film that the filmmaker made.
Yes.
The difficulty is finding them. But the selection, there's not a selection. You're showing everything.
Yes.
And Lubitsch was one of the first because he came to America in 1924, 25, I think, not to escape the Nazis. He came much before the Nazis came to power. He came at the invitation of Mary Pickford.
Okay.
To make a film with her called Rosita, because she wanted to make a film in which she was an adult. She'd been making films pretending she was a child or a teenager. Anyway, she hated the film Rosita. He made it. She hated it. Withdrew it from distribution, but he went on to become one of the great American filmmakers, bringing to not only filmmakers but producers. When he went to Paramount, he initiated some of the working relationships that he knew from German cinema. So he brought some of the kind of German cinema know-how in terms of how to run a studio to Hollywood. But he also made some marvelous films, like Notchka, some of the earliest musicals, Smiling Lieutenant, So This Is Paris. Very, very, very important.
Yes.
Lubitsch is very important.
Fritz Lang, I think later made Flash by Night, like he ventured into American movies.
Oh yes, well he came to America because he did not have to leave Germany. I mean, Goebbels wanted him to make films in Germany, but he was not a Nazi, even though his wife was. And so he came to America and made some very interesting films, like Flash by Night, like Fury, like Moonfleet. Yes.
My last